bitch like I was Drake, yeah.
Don't just try to tell me you love me. Can't keep it real if you really don't trust me. Come with a real, you here up in the front seat. Get my meals, I'm gunning for the money. Money in the bank. Come with a dank, scrolling that tank, rolling with the gang. You sitting out on the sideline tripping. I go to the hole with the rock like Pippin.
Yeah. I'm okay.
That's a hell of a win! You know what I love? I love when you guys indirectly tell your coach, relax, we got it. We got it. All right? That's exactly what you guys did out there. You know what good teams do? They don't give a shit who they play. They don't care about the environment, who's playing for them, who's playing for us, what the records are. When you smell competition, you show up. And you guys just proved it again today. You did what you're supposed to do. You did exactly what you're supposed to do. That's what good teams do. Guys, that's 4. You just keep your attitude just like it is right now. And we'll go wherever we want to go, I promise you. I've seen too much of it. I've seen way too much fall as a player and a coach. Trust me, we'll be all right. We'll be just fine. We got the right dudes in this room. We got the right dudes and the right coaches. All right, I got one game ball. Where's my game ball at? And we'll get into this in a couple of days, okay?
That's what I'm talking about, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
Victory Monday.
What up, though? Welcome to the Whatever Waits Live on WordSports.com. I'm Easy. Spin more racks.
What up,
Young
though?
Chris. Detroit Kool-Aid on the 1s and 2s. Shout out to him,
Shout
filling in
out.
for our guy JB Smooth. Honored to have him in the building. If you guys don't know, he does cover the Detroit Pistons for Woodward Sports. He's been fired this offseason. Or I'm sorry. Almost regular season. Preseason first game was last night. We'll talk about that. The Talking Towns Detroit Lions. Deservingly so.
They went out there and they put their nuts on the Carolina Panthers. It was what we expected them to do. It's what they needed to do. If you're a good team, you go out there and you beat bad teams.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they did. They didn't worry about, didn't overlook them, nothing like that. They went out there and, like I said, they put their nuts on the table, man. They spanked them around. Laporta, great game. Hutch had a great game. Jared Goff looked great. It was a very, very fun Sunday.
It was. It's soothing, I guess, or settling, just because like you have to believe that this is a good team, and just as you said, just as Dan Campbell said, they went out there and they did what good teams do. You beat the teams that are lesser than you, and they did just that.
Yep.
And not just beat them. I'm sorry. Let me correct that. You whooped their fucking ass.
They dominated.
You shoved their nose in shit, and you let them know this is my fucking house. Don't come in here and try to win again.
Yep.
All right. Got that?
Bryce Young was running for his life all game. The pass rush looked good. They were getting after him. Had him running around like a little toddler. So it was impressive to watch, man. The defense had another great performance. And I'm just excited going forward, man.
We got this real quick video, too, because Craig Reynolds, crazy enough, I mean, it's not that he's been in the league forever with the Detroit Lions forever, but, like, I assumed he had a touchdown.
Yeah.
He had it. Yeah. He's, like, 4 years in his career, hadn't had an NFL touchdown yet, and this is Josh Reynolds speaking on the matter.
Craig Reynolds has his first career touchdown today in his 24th career game. You've been with him for a while. Just what did that mean to see him finally get in there?
That's my cousin right there. It's awesome, man. Craig, he's been working like that for as long as I've gotten here. And, you see it every day with the consistency. So, to be able to finally see it on the field and him.
And we saw, I think the coolest thing about that was David Montgomery on the sidelines. After Craig Reynolds made a couple nice runs in a row, he had 3 or 4 nice runs that he put together to get it down in the red zone. And Craig was gassed. He just ran the ball like 3 or 4 times and got good gains. So he was trying to get a sub. David Montgomery said, no, keep your ass on the field. Get your touchdown, young blood. It was dope, man. It was dope. Happy for Craig. He deserves it. He's a great guy. And glad he finally got into the end zone.
That cutback run he had was beautiful. My grandma, God bless her, and she like lived through it, so she, I guess, would know more than me. And it's not like she's like a hardcore football fan like I am, but she was like reminded her of Barry Sanders and like, Craig's nice.
Yeah,
Craig's nice. I'm not to that obviously that level.
That was a nice cutback. He had a couple nice runs on that drive to put it together, and obviously the touchdown to cap it off. So
yeah, I think it's a beautiful moment of just like brotherhood and like wanting to, I guess, the best for the guy next to you, which is awesome to see because it'd be easy for Dave Montgomery to just keep, like, realistically. By the way, and I already, like, kind of lost a little bit of respect. And one guy, person that works this network, I still love him. He's my guy. But anyone who ever questioned Dave Montgomery filling in the role, I feel stupid even saying that, but anyone that ever questioned Dave Montgomery filling in the role for Jamal Williams?
Yeah.
Suck the longest, fattest cucumber you can find.
Yes.
And that's just the nicest way I'm going to put it. You sounded silly from the get-go, but now I hope you know. And we're going to talk about that. Actually, we do have a graphic for that. If you want to throw it up now, whatever, we'll get out the way.
D-Mont's the real deal, man. He's the real deal. That's why we were so excited when they signed him. And this is
already on pace.
The game logs for Jamal Williams last year and David Montgomery this year, and he is on pace to break that record. He's on pace to break the touchdown record that Jamal Williams set last year for the Detroit Lions.
And he could have got an extra one, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Because he's a good teammate.
And you love to see it, man. I love to see this. David Montgomery, we were so excited when they signed him for a reason. Like, this guy has always been that in the league. He's always been a good back in the league. He's had 1,000+ total yards every year he's been in the NFL. And it's just awesome to watch, man. They're leaning on the guy because he gives results. You're giving him 25, 30 carries a game because he gets results and he takes care of business. So shout out to Monty. We knew what we got when we signed him, and he's just going out there and proving it that, yeah, he is a better player than Jamal Williams. We made that comment yesterday. I forget, somebody said it in the Woodward Sports chat, that big run he had, that touchdown run he had. Jamal wasn't doing that. Jamal's not doing that.
I think it was like 15 of his touchdowns came within the 5-yard line.
Yeah.
For Jamal Williams last year. So like it was just a ludicrous statement of anyone to make or even think that he wasn't going to be able to do those things. Like, Dave Montgomery is nice like that. Had the most broken tackles since being drafted. I'm sorry, the third most broken tackles since being drafted. He's just nice. Mm-hmm. Do you have anything on that? More on that one?
No, I'm just happy to see the guy doing what he does. We know he breaks tackles. We know he's a hard runner. He gets a lot of yards after contact, and he's just continued to do that for the Detroit Lions.
All around dub for the city of Detroit yesterday. Going to some other topics here too. First and foremost, Taylor Swift, kind of just Swift mania is taking over the NFL. For what reason? I still haven't decided. I guess maybe they're trying to branch like new markets, but like this is like it feels like when Bud Light tried going the route they tried going with. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about. The Swift stuff. Like we're here.
Yeah.
We made you the largest sport, the richest sport in the country, and you're gonna like just turn your backs. It's annoying to me. But Detroit did it right. Mm-hmm. We don't have Taylor Swift in our building. We got something a little bit better. Some GOAT status, if you will. Eminem was even there celebrating the Detroit Lions yesterday.
Yeah, it was pretty dope to see. I'm up there taking in the Lions. There's a lot of people in the building watching the Lions. There's M. He was up in the box.
And this next one you're getting to.
Yeah. There you go. D-Book.
Royalty.
Now, real quick before we go on, obviously, because this is crazy. D-Book just like repping Detroit so blatantly in front of his teammates and everything like that. But like, look at that photo and like how like respectful it is. Only one man in that photo has a championship ring.
Yep.
And it's the smallest one.
Yep.
And he was a pivotal increment to that. Yeah, two of them things. How crazy is that?
It's
looking
awesome.
At that photo and like the greatness in that photo. It's just Isaiah.
Greatness in the photo, yeah. A top 3 point guard of all time, a top 3 receiver all time. Jalen Rose, he puts on for the city, the Fab Five, everything he did. Mm-hmm. He had a great NBA career as well. And Devin Booker always repping for Detroit, dude. You love to see it.
What'd you say?
Future Piston.
Future Piston.
Hey.
Future Piston, Devin Booker.
And again, we have the Detroit Pistons beat reporter in the building with us, Detroit Kool-Aid. I got to ask you, man, because what do you make of these things? Oh, real quick, actually, put up a picture of KD, too. Because I'm starting campaign up against Benny. KD to the D, baby, because, like, I get Devin Booker being from Michigan to do what he did. KD rocking the Detroit hat. I think it's the same one Kool-Aid has on right now. What is going on? What is this? I don't know. I felt the type of way about that. A good way. Kool-Aid?
Oh, I felt a good way about it too, man. Hey, you already know. We started this on the Speakeasy Pod.
Yes, sir.
Devin Booker, come home, bro. And you can bring KD too, man. We'll pay. What do they need us to pay, man? Any type of Detroit tax or something?
I'm down.
Let's make it happen.
Do you think he could come by trade? Or do you think he's going to wait out this contract?
That contract is long, and he's already old. I mean, I'm not saying he will call it quits after this contract, but there's a chance he will. There's a chance.
I think there's 2 more years left.
Contract. It's I believe 3. I believe 3.
I'll pull it up real quick. What do you want to say it though?
I mean, it's not. I'm not gonna jump to that conclusion. The Devin Booker thing's absolutely happening. Like, I am ready to sign, seal, deliver. That is happening. Devin Booker will be a Detroit Piston. But the Kevin Durant thing. I mean, Kevin Durant's been paying respect to Detroit rap. Like, Kevin just loves the city of Detroit. So, and he said so on multiple occasions. He's good. He's a fan of Kate Cunningham's game. So, to me, I think that's more so just him kind of, riding with D-Book rather than necessarily a strictly Detroit thing. But the Devin Booker thing, I 110% like put money on it. Devin Booker will be a Piston in 3 years or less.
We gotta, because I'm on Spot Check right now. And either they don't have it refreshed. This can't be right, because I knew he did re-sign something recently.
He re-signed last year, and then he demanded a trade. Remember he
No,
signed the
I'm talking about
extension.
Devin Booker.
Oh,
It says Devin Booker's a free agent after this season.
I don't think that's true. Didn't he re-up?
I'm on Spot Track right now.
He is, but I believe he is, but it's expected that he's going to do the max extension. He's going to do what Jaylen Brown's going to do. Sign the most money, and then a year later demand a trade. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, next Jaylen Brown. That's what the situation is.
I mean,
that is what the NBA does.
I mean, I don't.
Damian Lillard,
I think it could
forgot
have been
Damian
done by
Lillard
now.
is also now on that list as well. Dame just signed an extension and demanded a trade. Like it's what he does. The player will get their money. And
But that was all before the new salary cap situation in the NBA too. With those guys.
but I mean the elite players are still going to get the most money and all of that. Like what the new CBA does is it eliminates the middlemen, like the Marcus Smarts.
I see you shaking your head in there.
Hey, look, man. If Devin Booker want to come home, Chris, man, let's not rain on that party, man.
Yeah.
I'm not,
Yeah, Chris.
what did I say that was raining on
The
it?
fuck, Chris.
So Chris thinks it's gonna happen.
No,
Damn it, Chris.
I was saying that it's going to happen. He signed the contract to get his money, then he can get here. Because that Phoenix team, let's be real, that team's going to be
just
dust
don't
in 2 to
do it
3
that
years.
way.
It's going to be dust.
Like, I mean,
They have
I
no
don't know.
assets.
I can't speak on Devin Booker. I do know if he came here, obviously, he might even be that type of guy, for real. Because like as much as like FaceTime he got on that, they come up with the Suns half a little bit. He's not doing a lot of commercials or anything like that. Like most guys do after that. Like Travis Kelce, granted he is a champion. You see him on 50 different commercials throughout every single day. D-Book might just want to win. I don't know. It's nice to have these guys, these pillars in the Detroit community too, where you don't have to get any like what's the tampering charges or anything like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Isaiah's not connected to the Pistons.
Nope.
Matter of fact, Isaiah's with the Suns. Jalen Rose is not with any NBA team. It's Calvin.
And I love that Isaiah and Ishbia are with the Suns, man. Come on, you know they're
Just turn them into a Detroit pipeline.
Exactly,
Man.
Exactly. I'm all good with it. It's happening, man. It's happening for real.
Aside from that, happy birthday to Penei Sewell. That giant of a man we were talking about last week. He's just only 22 years old. Officially, he's turned 23. Also, congratulations to Taylor Decker for his 100th game and 100th start for the Detroit Lions. That's amazing. As you guys know, you witnessed it actually this past night during the Lions game. That it's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
And almost anything can happen.
Anything can happen. You know, it's a car accident sport. So for him to have 100 starts in the NFL is extremely impressive. Shout out to Taylor Decker. And he said it at the end of the game, after he got the game ball, that he's having fun now. It feels different because he was obviously here when shit wasn't good for the Lions, when he was going through a lot of growing pains with the Lions as a team. But now they are a favorite in the NFC. Now they are a team that is contending for things, and he's having fun playing. So it's awesome to hear him talk like that.
He was getting pretty emotional, but it's awesome to have him here. I remember back in the day, and this is like 2 years ago actually when Woodward first started.
Damn, it's Hank's birthday too.
We used to beef, me and my guy Adam and Joey 2 times because they wanted to trade Taylor Decker.
Yeah.
After the one game of Penei Sewell at left tackle, which Penei Sewell's elite. But you need a complete offensive line. Thank God Brett Holmes is not a freaking idiot. He didn't trade Taylor Decker, and we have that complete offensive line unit that helps Jared Goff and the rest of this offense do what they got to do. But speaking of those big boys, Spinny, tell us about Big Boy.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. It's burger time. Try the best cheeseburger or our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Craving chicken, try the Dolly's chicken sandwich, or turn up the heat with Bob's hot chicken sandwich. Upgrade your regular fries to our chili cheese or loaded baked potato fries. Save room for dessert because they got the Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake, funnel cake fries, and much more. All of that at Big Boy.
Oh, I got to tell you guys about Feldman. That's what you're doing, Chris. I said, what? With 18 locations, a Feldman dealership in your backyard. Visit FeldmanAuto.com to find the location nearest to you. Since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience. It's called the Feldman Advantage. Catch Woodward Sports live at Feldman on every other Monday over at the Feldman and Chevrolet out in Novi.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like a landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. So register today at OutdoorEquipCo.com, and even you could have DMAC on your landscaping crew.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White and Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Do you have football on the brain?
Yes.
Fall ushers in college professional football, and this year's going to be awesome. Fall also ushers in the perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports, and they can be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance at 248-800-4177 or visit SwissINS.com. That's 248-800-4177 or SwissINS.com.
Check it out.
Check it out. What up, though? And welcome back to the Woodward Weights live on WoodwardSports.com. It's a Victory Monday. Hit that like button. I'm easy. That's Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Detroit Kool-Aid on the ones and twos. Pete Porter for the Detroit Pistons. Make sure you guys tap in. Follow him all season. I keep wanting to say off season for some reason.
Follow him all season.
Follow him all season. There you go.
All season.
All season. All. Speaking of that, BJ, Ben Johnson. He's him.
Yes.
Speaking, there was a couple plays. There was two of them specifically. There was actually one that we all know it. If you guys watched the National game last night, the San Francisco 49ers destroyed the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. Which lines are better than we can get into that. But even the best coach in the league, arguably, my best coach in the league, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Saw the Detroit Lions, flea flicker, and was like, huh.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And they used it, and they got a touchdown out of it.
Exactly. And then they also had, if you want to put up, Chris, the one we were talking about earlier, the snap.
The snap was crazy.
That was insane.
That was such a nasty play. And Ben Johnson, he is a wizard. He does a lot of great things. This is the one where Goff is under center, and they snap it between Jared Goff's legs to David Montgomery. And it is such a dope play call. Like, Goff acts like he fumbled the snap. Monty gets the first down. It was just a beautiful play call, a beautiful design by Ben Johnson. It looked like some, longest yard shit, like in the longest yard where they do the trick play at the end. Goff sold the fake perfectly. Snap was a little high, but Monty grabbed it and picked up the first down. It's just this is stuff that you don't see. This is you don't see that in the NFL. I've never seen that happen in the NFL before. And it's just impressive that Ben Johnson is going deep into his bag of tricks, making things happen, and just being him tendencies, him Turner, him Johnson. This is just amazing to watch, man. Those two plays specifically yesterday, the snap between Goff's legs and then the reverse flea flicker was so sick to get a wide open touchdown to Sam Laporta down the sideline. Just again, beautiful play design, great execution, and very well done.
I had this to say after that play because it was almost consecutive with the flea flicker. He's not. Bro.
That's honestly.
I've never. We've seen the flea flicker. Everyone obviously know the name of it. The snap. You call it the snap because we don't know the name of it.
Yeah, it's
just brilliant work by Ben Johnson. And beyond that too, you're heading into this game, and I get it. The Carolina Panthers are probably going to with the number 1 overall pick. That's going to go to the Chicago Bears. But you're without your guy, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're without your number 1 overall draft. I'm sorry, not like the number 1 overall draft pick, but your number 1 overall draft pick, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah.
And you, by the way, Big V didn't play yesterday. Mm-hmm. Jackson started, and so did Glasgow. Obviously did well. Big V didn't even hit the field. You don't have Big V in there, who's originally your number 1.
Yeah.
You don't have Jahmyr.
Yep.
You don't have Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Yep.
And Ben's still getting dirty. Ben's still getting down.
And yeah, hats off to Frank Ragnow for that play too, because that's not an easy thing to do.
Yes.
To snap it between your legs, between the quarterback's legs, accurately to the running back. It's not an easy thing for him to do. So great execution by Frank Ragnow. great play design, and it was just amazing. It was crazy to see. I was like, we were sitting here watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, did that shit just fucking happen?
I know. I couldn't even get over it. I think my mouth was just dropped.
Yeah.
I mean, this team could beat you just so many ways, and that's why, like, last week when we got into, like, the Jahmyr Gibbs topic a little bit is, like, sure, that is a discussion that could be had. Why, though?
Yeah.
Like there are just so many other ways for this team to win games. And not only, like, is it possible? They're utilizing that way.
Yeah.
Look at the Atlanta Falcons who are like, oh, they don't have any weapons. Well, you have Kyle Pitts, and they fail to, like, get him going and utilize him some way. You have a Sam Laporta, rookie tight end, who's literally doing things. He's tight end number 1 in the NFL. Tied for the most touchdowns and has the most yards.
Has the most yards.
By a good 30 yards.
Tied for most catches.
Tight end number 1 as a rookie. Like, it's not just having pieces, it's also being able to utilize them to their abilities. It goes beyond that, too. And then obviously you've heard everyone talk about Josh Reynolds and Khalif Raymond, but it's true.
Yes.
It's true. These are guys that are cut from teams. And then Ben Johnson's like, I got you. We're going to draw some up for you.
Come nestle in Ben Johnson's teeth.
That's why, like, another thing, too, is like, all right, and this is like maybe a conversation we have a little bit more later about Jamison Williams, but there should be no concern about it because you have a Ben Johnson. Jamison Williams is going to get his. Now, if it's like the caliber of a 12th overall pick, that's yet to be seen. He hasn't played enough games for us to even have that conversation. But what I do know is Ben Johnson, who makes Khalif Raymond and Josh Reynolds look good, will damn sure make Jamison Williams look good.
Yeah.
And it may not be every single game, and it may not be every other play like people want it to be, but he's still going to be an effective member for this offense.
He is, and we talk about the 49ers offense and how they have so many weapons and use so many different people that some games Deebo Samuel doesn't touch the ball, but they still win by 20 points. It's a George Kittle game like it was last night. That is what Ben Johnson's doing, and you saw it against the Carolina Panthers. Everybody eats. You had Khalif making catches. You had Marvin Jones making catches. You had, obviously, Sam Laporta going off doing things, Monty being him, Josh Reynolds in the back of the end zone, touchdown. Like, it is not just this is not the Detroit Lions offense where it was throw the ball down the field to Calvin Johnson every single play. This is, you have multiple guys that can beat you in multiple ways, and they're schemed to get open and schemed to do great things because you have a wizard in Ben Johnson who knows how to use these guys correctly.
Yeah, and that's again, that's why there shouldn't be any worry about Jamison Williams. And like I saw, I think MPWMU. Like if I receive the 6th round who could block, that's cool. Jameis gonna do things in that field that you're not gonna be able to find a 6th rounder that can do it, unless he's falling down the boards like Tyreek did for things you don't want a 1st rounder to do. I should say you want to invest that type of money in that type of person. But Tyreek's obviously overcome that, so on and so forth. But Jameis will be productive for this offense. I don't think anybody should be worrying about that. It's just Ben Johnson, bro. He's just him. He is. I mean, America's reaction was that in Memphis not real. This shit was insane, man.
Bro, do you know how crazy that play was? Because he did it for 2 reasons, and neither one of them was because they were playing the Panthers, bro. It was to shut up everybody who was saying, why y'all looking so vanilla? And I think it's to put something in the minds of Tampa Bay and the Ravens. Their coordinators have to be sitting there like, what the heck? Because if you go back to the that Laporta touchdown, Goff changed that in the huddle. You know what I'm saying? If you go to that D-Mont, snap between the legs, what are you doing if you're the Bucs and the Ravens thinking up to this point?
Yeah.
They're pretty vanilla. We can shut them down. And then you get out there and you see, man, they're pretty dynamic, and this isn't even a half of it. That was such a trick play. It wasn't even like an intermediary, a wrinkle. It was such a trick play that I'm like, you know what? Ben Johnson got a whole stack of plays that we probably have no idea about.
Yes.
And when they need to use those, I keep hearing everybody talking about that they're just a step below some of these powerhouse teams. I don't think we've seen the Lions offense at its powerhouse status, and they still have another level.
They're in the conversation for sure. And when I liked about that, the first trick play, not the legs, between the legs one, but the reverse flea flicker, that's what Ben Johnson does. He sets up plays like this all game. Yeah. How many times did you see in that game where they were doing pitches to Montgomery?
Yeah.
A pitch to the outside to Montgomery, a pitch to the inside to Montgomery. They were doing inside zone pitch plays.
Bro, you remember
you're
just
setting
last
that
week?
up. You're setting up that counter action. You're setting up that reverse, setting up that flea flicker all game. So they get used to the pitch, and then you pitch it back and throw it back to Goff and take a deep shot.
Just last week, that same exact situation was used for Khalif Raymond to take it for end run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's they give you the same look, and this is why this is why I wanted out of an offensive coordinator in my entire Lions fandom, because I see it being done in the league. I just don't understand why it was never practiced here, but it is here now, and I'm not gonna sit here and bitch about it. I'm gonna brag about it because I love it. I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan when I say like a guy gives you the same formation but a different play out of it every single time.
Yeah.
Ben Johnson does that, and we had that, and Kyle Shanahan copied the flea flicker from Ben Johnson, the double flea flicker, I should say, or whatever the hell you want to call it. It's just amazing to have. And I guess the other thing too is like they're so. Dan Campbell was actually talking about today. They're so aggressive.
Yeah.
They're so like you're gonna know you play the Detroit Lions because you're gonna be pretty sore the next day. They're constantly just shoving the ball down teams' throats, and they're challenging your will. And when you do that, when you're constantly just beating the shit out of somebody and pounding the rock consistently, that makes the trick plays even better because they're so like tensed up and ready for the fucking battle that's about to go on between the trenches or wherever they may be, that they're so focused on winning that man-on-man matchup that when the trick play comes up, they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful offense, and I pray that Ben Johnson's here for a long time.
Me too. He's probably not going to be, though.
Don't
unfortunately.
Say that. Don't rain on no parade.
We got to enjoy it while we have it because the wizardry of Ben Johnson was in full effect against Carolina Panthers. They put up with 42 points.
Happy birthday, Stick. Stick just turned 42 this weekend.
Happy birthday, Stick. Happy birthday to Penny. Happy birthday to Henrik Zetterberg. Happy birthday to Lions fans everywhere because we feel like we're born anew when we're watching this Lions team. It's just fun to watch, man. They play an exciting, fun brand of football. And if you want to hear more about it after we're done, all you got to do is stay tuned for Woodward Nights because Booner and Broder hook up the show. Woodward Nights from 8 to 10 p.m. all week. Make sure you check it out with Booner and Broder. Those are my boys, and they're going to be breaking down the Lions' victory as well. But it's
14 straight games with 20-plus points for the Detroit Lions offense, too. And to put that in any type of perspective, we talked about it all last week a little bit here, too, but the Carolina Panthers just scored over 20 points for the first time this year with Bryce Young at the helm. Just put things in perspective. I mean, it's here to stay. And it's legit, too, because of the offensive line. They can keep doing these things.
Yeah.
It's crazy, too, because I remember bitching how much I wanted DeAndre Hopkins, and Hopkins had a really good game yesterday, too, and he's obviously still DeAndre Hopkins. But I see why maybe they didn't. It wasn't such a effort for them. I don't know what I'm looking for. Urgency for them to make that type of move.
Yeah,
I don't know, but we got it. And actually, we'll just roll this in the next conversation because Kool-Aid mentioned it. And it's like now they're being talked about just behind those contender. No. Now they're in that contender conversation. If you go on the NFL website right now and you look at league standings, you have the 2 undefeated teams, 49ers, Eagles, boom. That third team, your Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. That's
Detroit
what it's all
Lions,
about.
baby.
And if you want to look good while you're looking up those standings, you just got to come into Lady Jane's. For an award-winning haircut experience and register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right. No expenses spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Downtown's newest sports bar has 13 track meet simulators, certified instructors, and most importantly, a full bar and restaurant. Make sure you guys head over down to 5 Iron Golf. It's the newest, best spot in downtown Detroit. Bring a foursome or sign up as an individual. Use promo code 10 for a discount off your first time. Visit 5irongolf.com to tee up good times.
Check it out.
Check it out. What up, though? Welcome back to the World Heavyweights live on WoodSports.com. I'm your boy Easy Joe, my guy Spin Mo Rax.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Detroit Kool-Aid, filling in for JB Smooth. I always usually don't say that person's name because I mess up. I just almost forgot JB's name. It's funny as hell. Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. We were going to talk about the defense. I'm going to say that a little bit, and I apologize for that, Noah. But I just got to talk about Detroit Lions being contenders. And like the first time I'm saying this in terms of like contenders. And then my reservation for it always was the fact that they didn't really have that interior defensive line presence that I felt we needed for Aiden Hutchinson to flourish. But as we've seen the past 3 games, more specifically the 2 games before this, that defensive line is getting down and dirty.
Ali McNeil looks good. He's been getting better and better every game. Obviously, having Isaiah Buggs back helps this defensive line a lot. He provides a lot in the middle. Getting after the passer and doing different things like that. Kaminsky is still playing well. Josh Pascal is coming back. He should be ready to go soon. They're saying he's getting better and better, and he's almost ready to be cleared to play. So that interior defensive line is definitely helping the Detroit Lions. It's helping Aiden Hutchinson do what he does. We saw Hutch get the sack. We saw him with the nasty one-handed interception, but he can't do any of that if it isn't for the guys around him helping him, because it's not just a one-man crew on that defensive line. You need that interior pass rush. You need a secondary pass rusher to help Aiden Hutchinson so he's not getting double, triple teamed all game. And they're getting that help. They're getting those guys home. Whether it's Isaiah Buggs, Ali McNeil, Benito Jones, whoever it is in the middle of that defensive line for the Detroit Lions is making plays and getting in the backfield.
You're finally able to allow your star player to flourish. And I look back at the conversation we had with GQ just a few weeks ago, and he was like, listen, I get that Hutch has all these pressure stats, which, by the way, again, it's one of those like advanced analytic nerd stats, their definition of a pressure. But nonetheless, he gets these up there, but he's not landing the sacks. And they talk about the holdings and they talk about the double teams, and that was like the excuse for Aiden. But GQ, the perspective he put it in is, you don't think Micah Parsons is dealing with those same issues? You don't think Joey Bosa is dealing with those same issues? Mm-hmm. It's up to the defensive coordinator at that point to utilize that player ability to move along across the line, or just find ways to find him in different wrinkles where he's able to have these one-on-one matchups against like a guard that's maybe a little bit more sloppier than the tackle matchup they have that day. AG's done that. And that was my reservation again for the term contender, was like we didn't have a defensive line presence outside of Aiden Hutchinson. One that I was like, felt like he could open things up for him. We have that, at least in a team effort. And beyond that, the Cowboys looked damn good this year outside the Arizona Cardinals game. Up until last night, they got their asses whooped by the San Francisco 49ers. And the Cowboys are still a threat. Don't get that. The Cowboys defense is the real deal. The offense, not so much. But the recipe you saw on display last night, the San Francisco 49ers put on the Dallas Cowboys defense, the Detroit Lions had that same recipe.
They do.
They got that same recipe and ability to cook it up. Whether you want to get through the air, whether you want to get on the ground, get freaky with it. I mean, they literally had the exact same play called. Detroit Lions had the same recipe, making them, I think, the 3rd best team in this NFC.
I do too, and I might say second, honestly, with the way they're playing. They're playing. Obviously, we know this was against the Panthers. The Panthers are a shit team, but you go out there and you do what you did to them. That is what good teams do. You hang 42 on them. You go out there and you put your nuts on the table. And going back to the defense for a second, this is from Ben Raven. I just saw it. Shout out Ben Raven. He said Aiden Hutchinson and Lee McNeil destruction tour continues. PFF has them both plus 90. Another 8 pressures for Hutchinson to go with the sack and int. It looks good for Anzalone and Buggs too. And that's what we needed out of Ali McNeil. That was always when, we're cooking up topics preseason, in the offseason about different things. Who needs to step up? Who do you need to see a leap from? My answer was always Ali McNeil, because we needed it out of him, and he's been giving it to us. Pause. He's been going out there. He has been making plays. He is forcing the issue in the interior defensive line, and it's awesome to see.
It's dude, again, like I said, the Detroit Lions, the ass whooping the Dallas Cowboys got last night. By the way, George Kittle with the "Fuck Dallas" shirt, hard.
That is dope.
That was hard. I'm gonna get Sam Laporta a freaking "Fuck the Bears" one.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That'd be awesome to see. But we have those same ingredients. We have those same ingredients to cook up that same recipe. With the San Francisco 49ers, look at that team. You want to break it down. It's a physical team with a great offensive line and a brilliant run game. Now, obviously, you'd say they have probably the best running back in the league right now in Christian McCaffrey. The Detroit Lions don't have that, no. But they do have a mixture of that between the two, Jahmyr Gibbs and Dave Montgomery. Whether we've seen that Jahmyr Gibbs or not, we have it. But, again, I have full faith that Ben Johnson's going to get it out of him at some point this season. I really do, especially after yesterday's master class. You get the tight end position for the San Francisco 49ers. Look at George Kittle, an Iowa product. What do we have? Sam Laporta,
Yep.
an Iowa product. And quite literally right now, the best tight end in the league. Maybe those things change, but right now I'm able to say that, and I'm going to flex it while I can. And then you go to the outside, I think they have a little bit more established weapons, I should say, with like Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel. But I feel like Amon-Ra can feel like Deebo Samuel role. We've seen him run plays out of the backfield and do other kinds of same things that you see Deebo Samuel do for the San Francisco 49ers. We don't have really Ayuk. But we have a Jameson Williams who's going to establish himself in this offense. We have a Josh Reynolds he's already established in this offense. And then Khalif Raymond too. We did the same recipe to beat the shit out of teams like the Dallas Cowboys. And beyond that too, you go to the defensive side of the ball. Hey, AG crowd. People wanted to fire AG. People wanted to bench Jerry Jacobs. Speak now. But we got to, I mean, you're allowed to apologize now. We'll hold the floor open. And you could apologize for your sins.
Yeah.
As Neil Rule says. But it's truth of the matter. This defense looks the part, Spinny.
This defense is legit, and obviously we know the run defense is the best in the NFL, but they're going out there and they're making quarterbacks scared for their lives in the past couple of games. I understand, it was Jordan Love, Desmond Ridder, and Bryce Young, but still, these are good signs of what this defense can be. Cam Sutton being Cam Sutton, locking down the side of the field. Jerry Jacobs having back-to-back fantastic games out there. Obviously, my heart hurts for Emmanuel Mosley. You hate to see something like that happen, but with Jerry playing at the level he is, it's something that the Lions can recover from, something that the Lions can bypass, is not having a guy like Emmanuel Mosley for the rest of the season. Again, prayers out to him.
They've done it.
Yeah.
They've been without Emmanuel Mosley this entire season.
Yep.
The play that he got hurt, if I'm not mistaken, was his first in-game action for the Detroit Lions. Like, it does suck to lose Emmanuel Mosley because you had high expectations for him. You're 4-1, and the guy's played one snap for you. And he wasn't able to complete the entire snap because, unfortunately, he tore his ACL. Pray for the best of him, and maybe we get him on another discount next year, but we got something here. And the Detroit Lions are contenders. And then maybe tomorrow, after this Monday night game, we'll break down actual top 10 power rankings. Cause I got lost in the sauce a little bit today, man. I was trying to do it just to be prepared for tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I'm so in high favor of the Detroit Lions right now, but I feel crazy.
They got to be a top 5 team in the NFL.
I think they might be.
They have to be a top 5 team.
I think they might be. And I mean, I guess we'll have that, that conversation tomorrow for that segment, but I'll save it. I'll save it. But as of right now, Detroit Lions are at least for damn sure in the NFC.
Yeah, for sure. And it's exciting to watch. Like we said, they do a lot of good things and complement themselves in so many different ways with the players they have and the schemes that they run. So it's impressive to see them do that. It's impressive to see them do that at such a high level against an inferior opponent in the Carolina Panthers. Now I expect them to go out there. I expect them to do the same thing next week against the Bucs in Tampa Bay. This isn't a brand of football that doesn't travel. This brand of football travels. You play good defense, you stop the run, you run the ball. You can go anywhere and do that. You can go to anyone's house and do that. So I expect them to take it to Tampa Bay next week, and I expect them to get another W. So let's see what's going on there. But I'm just excited for this Detroit Lions team, man. They're fun to watch. Mm-hmm. They have playmakers at every position, on every level. Yeah. They have guys who are making things happen, and I haven't seen this in my entire life.
It's a context math too when you break down them as contenders again, because you go to the NFL website and you categorize the records by league, and there's other 4-1 teams, but whatever BCS science they use to put the Detroit Lions as that third team, they are right now. And you look at the way they've been beating these teams, it fits the characteristics of a team that's considered the third best team in the league. Now, it's only week 5, but again, we've seen this team go down a couple players, key players. I mean, CJ was going to be a starter for you.
Yep.
Emmanuel Mosley, again, wasn't there the whole season, but he was going to be a starter for you too. Mm-hmm. And they were still able to play. That's why when you heard the presser, or not the presser, but the post-game speech from Dan Campbell, we played at the beginning of the show. By the way, if you didn't hear that, I recommend rewinding it. It's phenomenal. It got me pumped up. But he literally, I think, is verbatim. I'm not going to say verbatim, but doesn't matter who's on our side, doesn't matter who's on their side. As long as when you smell competition, you show up.
Yeah.
And we did.
And they did.
And not only that, too, this team loves each other. You saw that with the situation with, obviously, Josh Reynolds showing love to Craig Reynolds, but also Dave Montgomery showing love to Craig Reynolds, who could have easily just padded his stats and got himself another touchdown.
Yeah. It's impressive, man. It's impressive to watch. They're bought in. You can tell they're bought in. It starts at the top with Sheila Ford Hamp to Brad Holmes to Dan Campbell, and then it trickles down to these guys, and they're playing like they are contenders. They believe they are contenders, and so do I. I think they're contenders. I think they have a legitimate chance to make a run in the NFC, and I'm excited to see what they can do throughout the rest of the season. Obviously, health will play a factor in that. They've already lost 2 big pieces for the season on defense, but you are getting healthier. Despite the Emmanuel Mosley injury, you have Kirby Joseph came back and played in this game. You have Josh Pascal looking like he's getting ready to come back. So just stay healthy, take care of business, and make sure some things happen. I'm excited to see what they can do.
Chris?
I mean, look, it's been great, man. It's been a great 24 hours. Like it really has. When you look back at, I was watching this game with my dad, and my dad is a guy who grew up a Lions fan, then kind of faded out, became more of a Pistons and Tigers fan as those were and NHL Red Wings fan as they were the teams that are winning. And now me and him get to sit there and watch this Lions team win is incredible. And the defense, like, that's where I want to go with this conversation of being contenders. Is now we've talked about it all season, the money that they have, the flexibility they have to go out and make that swing and get a player. And now where do you want it to be? And the receiving core looks very good. It looks like Ben Johnson is able to, on paper, it might not be the most talented, but Ben Johnson has shown that he can clearly make it work against any defense, any week, and kill you by just any variation. And then the defensive line has looked a hell of a lot better since that Seattle game. Mm-hmm. So now my kind of thought is almost, do you go and... Again, I don't even feel confident about this because Jerry Jacobs, who I know we're going to talk about, has looked very good.
Yeah.
But do you go out and get another corner to kind of replace what happened to Mosley? Like, where are you at with this? These assets? Because if this team clearly is a contender, then I think in the next couple weeks they should be making a trade. If they are this team, if they lose less than 2 games in the next 3 weeks, they should be buying at the deadline. And they should be making a move. They should be adding talent. And going for this shot at the championship.
That is another characteristic of a contender for sure. Is like adding that one more piece.
Yeah.
Just as you saw the 49ers do. And another characteristic, as you saw the 49ers do. Remember when Hufanga wasn't even a starter? Yeah. He was like just some 5th round pick. And then I think it was, who was it initially got hurt for them last year?
Jimmy Ward.
And oh no, we lost Jimmy Ward. And Hufanga comes in, he's like an all-pro player.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those things about Tracy and or Iffy, but they filled in seamlessly. Mm-hmm. This is still a top-ranked defense amongst the league. And we're going to talk about the defense, but not before I tell you about Fairway Packing Company. Because if you're in Detroit and you want to eat good for a little bit cheaper, you buy it direct from the supplier. Our supplier is Fairway Packing Co. And for over 60 years, they've also supplied the finest hotels and restaurants with casinos prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry-aged beef. Experience Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop in Grosse Pointe Woods for grab-and-go steaks or order online at fairwaypacking.com.
Gabby is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
By now you know me, Christina Gennari, as the obvious choice in real estate. And you know my website, soldchristina.com, as your #1 resource for buying or selling your home. Myself, along with my amazing staff, pride ourselves on making your home buying and selling experience a relaxing and easy one. Come see why we are the obvious choice. Christina Gennari at soldchristina.com, the obvious choice in real estate.
Now, how would you like to win a $100,000 Vegas getaway? Take your closest friends and live it up in the city that never sleeps. It's the Syntron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter for your chance to win. You can do that by entering at drinkcintron.com/Vegas or buying Cintron at your local Meijer store. It's Cintron, the healthier energy drink with great taste and the choice for people who desire to look good, feel good, and be the best version of themselves.
Yes.
Go to drinkcintron.com/Vegas. Why wait?
Why wait?
What up, though? Welcome back to Woodward Heavyweights Live with Sports.com. I'm your boy Easy Jumper Guy, Spin More Rex.
What up, though?
Young Chris, Detroit Kool-Aid on the 1s and 2s. We put a poll up there in the Woodward Sports chat. At 600 likes, we'll give away a jersey. But what jersey it is up to you guys. There's a poll in the Woodward Sports chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you make a vote on which jersey you want. Right now, Sam Ford is in the lead with St. Brown in second. I'm not surprised with that at all.
No.
We're talking about contenders. And the Detroit Lions being one of those. Detroit Kool-Aid brought that up. Shout out to him. Chris went into like another characteristic of a contender is adding another piece to complete the puzzle. Adding another piece to make you guys hungrier because they see another star-studded talent across from them and they're like, damn, we really got a chance.
Yep.
And we kind of flirted with it a little bit on Friday. Some more rumors are coming out about the, not even rumors actually, this is a Schefter report. The Denver Broncos are willing to trade off some of the pieces, including a lot of the guys on defense. One of the guys on defense is PS2 Patrick Surtain.
Yes.
We talked about Chase Young, Derek Brown. The Panthers very may well be willing to get rid of because they don't have a first-round pick, and right now they look to be in ruins.
In need of a lot.
A lot. And the Detroit Lions, they have a couple left of the draft picks, and maybe some players and contracts people willing to take on. I want to ask you guys, both in the Woodward Sports chat and my guys in here too. Kool-Aid, actually, I'm going to start with you, just because I know you didn't talk too much the last segment. Is there any trade candidate pieces out there that you've seen floating on Twitter or just in your mind that you'd like the Detroit Lions to make a call on to complete the puzzle? Or do you think the puzzle's completed?
It's like instead of player like position group, I gotta go with what Chris was saying, man. Shore up the DBs, shore up the defensive backfield, get something in there where, I rock with Jerry Jacobs. I do. But I feel like if there's one place that's kind of weak on this squad right now, or that they could, not weak, but that they could take to like the next level, make them championship level, I think it's that position group.
Yeah.
I really do.
Especially, obviously, you lose Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. He was a big part of that revamped secondary. You lose Emmanuel Mosley after he only plays a couple snaps for you. He was going to be a big part of the secondary. You were without Brian Branch in this game, who I want to give a quick shout-out to Will Harris.
Yeah.
Because Will Harris got the start for Brian Branch in that nickel spot, and he played a damn good game. He was out there making plays. He was throwing people around, laying his body. It was impressive what I saw out of Will Harris yesterday. Did he, miss a couple assignments here and there? Yeah, but nobody's perfect. He played a good game. He went out there and he did his thing. I was very, very happy with what I saw out of Will Harris on that field in Brian Branch's role yesterday. But when you're talking about trading for somebody, obviously Patrick Surtain is a name that pops up because the Broncos are dog water, and he is one of the best corners in the league. So it'd be very nice if the Lions could go after a Patrick Surtain and get him. But the guy I would really want, the guy that I would be willing to mortgage a lot for to try to bring over here would be Max Crosby. That guy is a freak of nature. He is one of the best pass rushers in the game. You put him opposite Aiden Hutchinson, and it would be probably the best defensive line in the NFL. You look at those two together would be having 2 Defensive Player of the Year candidates on the same defensive line. There wouldn't be enough quarterbacks to sack. And it's not just Max Crosby isn't just a pass rusher. He's not just a guy that rips the quarterback's head off. He is an all-around defensive end. He plays the run very well, does a lot of things. He's bumped out into coverage before. He is a very good, very smart football player. He's from Michigan. He's from the area, so you know that he'd want to come back here. If the Lions could somehow, some way, go out there and get Max Crosby, it would make them a Super Bowl contender, and I might say it might make them the favorite in the NFC behind the 49ers.
I'm not saying no to Max Crosby. I just don't know if he's he's not really in the rumors of being shopped around, And they just signed Jimmy G, that big deal. I doubt they're looking to rebuild where they're paying a quarterback $40-something million. That is for Jimmy G, unless they have that. There might be an out on that contract. I don't know, but Chris, you were the one that brought it up. You said a DB, or are you thinking specifically Patrick Surtain, or just putting some bodies back there for some depth?
Yeah, I would swing for the fences and go for a star like Patrick Surtain, but at the end of the day, I could see Brad Holmes making a move for for a depth piece here and a depth piece there. Maybe you even split the middle and you get something on the defensive line and something in the cornerback room who's maybe not top end talent, but you get two players that can kind of just shore up the depth and help with where injuries have kind of depleted those positions. But at the end of the day, I think this is a team that you win with top end talent. This is a team sport, but a lot of what pushes teams over the edge is top end talent. You saw that with the Rams. You're seeing that with the 49ers. Like, again, they haven't won, but the 49ers have been damn near the best team to not win a Super Bowl in the last 6 years. Like, they've been awesome. So, and they do that with a lot of top end talent. So I think that going after something like that, because I love this Lions team. I think this Lions team is good, and I think Jerry Jacobs is good, and I think week to week they can do very well against most teams. I just think that this is a team that in the playoffs, when you're going against the elite of the elite, when you have a lot of time to game plan, Jerry Jacobs can be quality in a stint, but I'd rather have an upgraded version of that. It's nothing personal against Jerry Jacobs. I'd rather have an upgraded version of that, or like Spencer said, an upgraded version of helping the pass rush and just making this one of the best defensive lines. Like, again, it's nothing personal against the guys we have on the team. I just think that to push us over the edge, I look at that 49ers team, dude. That team is stacked. That team is stacked, and like, I just think that the Lions are a team that's right now playing like the sum of their part, but better than the sum of their parts. Yeah. And I think that when you run into a team like 49ers, you're going to have to be able to compete. You need one or two more top-end pieces for that.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing, too, is like we've seen it happen now in the NFL for, I want to say twice, at least in the last like 5 years. We saw the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go all in pursuing their Super Bowl, which they acquired Tom Brady. They went and got his best guy, Gronkowski, and whoever else. By the way, I saw Vita Vea in there. Maybe, but as of now, they're probably going to win that division.
Yeah, they're not selling.
Or NFC South.
Tampa's not selling.
Yeah, they're probably not winning that division. They probably want to keep Vita Vea. I'm looking more so at teams that, perfect examples are teams like the Denver Broncos, who gave up a first round for freaking Sean Payton, and that's not looking great. They also have paying a quarterback a shit ton in Russell Wilson.
On top of what they're going to want some draft capital. That quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to want some draft capital to build that team, especially if they're selling off pieces. That's probably one of the reasons they are selling off pieces. I'm talking about teams like the Carolina Panthers, who got a Derek Brown, and there's another big guy there in the interior too that they have that I wanted last year. But teams like that, because again, they traded away their first round pick they essentially traded Bryce Young for traded Caleb Williams, possibly of Caleb Williams for Bryce Young, which is like wild to me.
That is pretty wild.
But anyway, nonetheless, they don't have a first round pick, and they have pieces that you may be able to go get. I don't know how long J.C. Horn's going to be on the IR, but maybe he's Brazil. I mean, I don't know. They got to make some stuff move. I also look at the team that we talked about last week, and for me, it's still Chase Young, only because. And granted, this team didn't go too far, I should say. And I could have the same conversation probably with the Kansas City Chiefs. And we know them because you see them on a lot more national televised games and in the playoffs, which are nationally televised. But, like, can too many people name me the cornerbacks for the Kansas City Chiefs?
No.
And that's because that pass rush is elite. Yeah. The Detroit Lions, 2014, had one of the best defenses that we've seen. This one may be surpassing that. As of now, they're on pace to surpass that in terms of like run defense, which is crazy. But that defensive line had Dominican Sue, Ezekiel Anza, Nick Fairley, Jason Jones. The defensive line was so great. Yeah, we had Slay. Who was on the other side? You got to stop and think.
Nevin Lawson.
I believe it was Rasheem Mathis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, they were still productive because of the defensive line. That's why the heavyweights, we always say, are so important. Heavyweights matter. Heavyweights matter, baby. You got to keep them around. But if you were to grab a Chase Young, in my mind, who's also, he's been paraded as a trade candidate, they obviously pick up his fifth-year option, then you're getting to the quarterback like that, and you're able to buy those cornerbacks a little bit more time.
That's what it would be for me. I'm good with Jerry. I love Jerry out there. He is making a lot of plays. He's making a lot of things happen. I'm fine with Jerry Jacobs on the outside. I look at a secondary edge rusher. I look at a secondary pass rusher. You need to put somebody opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. Yeah, he's having a great game, or he's having a great couple games, and the defensive line looks good. But still, like Charles Harris, he has looked pretty good the past couple games. But losing James Houston was a big hit for this team, and to be able to replace that with a player on another team, whether it be a Chase Young, whether it be a Max Crosby, somebody of that ilk would just be so amazing for this defense. It would set it over the top. And Chase Young is the one that looks like if it's going to happen, it's probably going to be him because of the situation, the contract, where he's at, and what's going on with the Redskins, or the Commanders, I'm sorry. And I expect them to go out and get somebody, and I want it to be edge rusher. You can never have enough edge rushers. You can never have enough big guys on the outside, and I'm comfortable with where Jerry's at as the cornerback, too, on this team. And getting an edge rusher will help the cornerbacks. If you get another pass rusher, that'll help the cornerbacks. So
that's why I want one.
Yeah.
And I come to think of it, too, and again, I hate to reference a team for a third time, but the San Francisco 49ers, we got Emmanuel Mosley, and we were pumped because we knew he was part of the 49ers, but did we know a lot about him? Do we know a lot about the 49ers DBs right now? No, because the defensive line is so goddamn dominant, they make those guys look a lot better than they are. And that's just how football works. That's why there's draft value in different positions, because the defensive lineman that works out for you helps out multiple other things. They're the closest to the ball, the closest to the quarterback to making a play. I know I'm just talking defense. I don't really think we need anything on offense, but people want to recommend people like that too. But Chris, I know you wanted to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly say I know we're pressing against the break here, so I don't even think this might be another topic in and of itself. Maybe it won't be. But what Dan Campbell said at that video that we played at the beginning of the show, right? We have the right guys in this locker room. Is there any worry or fear of messing that up, shaking that up in order to make a big time trade like this? Is there any type of fear in that?
No. Brad Holmes comes from the fuck them picks lineage. Brad Holmes comes from teams where they go all in. You talked about how Tampa did it. The Rams did it. They went all in and won a Super Bowl. The Eagles did it. They went all in and they got to a Super Bowl. So it's on him. If what they're saying is true, if they believe that they are contenders, Brad Holmes knows what he has to do. That is what you do in the NFL. You don't have big windows for stuff like this. Not every team could be the Tom Brady Patriots. Not every team could be the Troy Aikman Giants. Like, you're not going to get a 10-year window of this dominance. So when it's there, when you have that feeling, when you have this team, you push all your chips to the center and you go all in. And that's what I expect them to do. I expect them to make a move to bring somebody in. I don't know who that is, but I would bet it's going to be a pass rusher.
Glad what were you saying?
No, I was just saying okay.
Yeah, let me tell you guys about Hamlin Pub, and we'll get right back to this. Some more Lions talk. But first, have you ever wanted a bar where you're a regular? We have just the place for you. Head to one of our Hamlin Pub's 7 locations and experience where everyone's a regular. Whether you're enjoying half-off pizza on Thursday or game day specials available during all Michigan sports and NFL games, Hamlin Pub is the place. Visit a location today and experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune in to the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder.
Join Woodward Sports and Lawn Drink live every home game for the official Lions VIP tailgate party where my guy Kool-Aid's there, Lucas is there. I'm showing up next time. It's at Eastern Market, shed number 5. It's always a bash. It starts at 9:30. It's all the way to game time with your tickets. Free food, free drinks. Let me repeat that again. Free food and free drinks along with your purchase of your ticket and free entertainment. Make sure you guys head over to bullseyeeventgroup.com to get yourself some. And subscribe to Woodward Sports on Instagram and YouTube. And DM Lions VIP for your chance to win a free ticket.
Check it out.
Check it out. What up, though? Welcome back to Another Way to LiveOverSports.com. I'm Easy, joined by my guy, Spin More Rax, Young Chris, Detroit Kool-Aid. Hit that like button if you guys haven't already. If you're listening just through audio, but you still got us live in the background, jersey giveaway if we hit 600 likes. And I get it, the chat's below 600 people right now. But that's why I say, be a friend, tell a friend, share the stream. And by the way, too, once you hit that like button, it also kind of prompts the algorithm to recommend the video to other people. So do yourselves a favor, do so you get the opportunity. And right now, Sam Laporta's in the league still with 55%. It actually went up. So what is Sam Laporta jersey going to be looking like at 600 likes?
Jared Goff has 23 completions, gaining 20-plus yards this season. Is the most in the NFL.
The most?
The most in the NFL.
Are you serious?
Yep.
More than Tua Tagovailoa?
Yep.
Wow.
23 completions, gaining 20-plus yards.
Now, is that just like a Goff stat, or does it have like the rest of the guys there?
It's just a Goff stat.
I wonder who's. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's from PFF.
I would definitely assume that would be. So 23 completions over 20 yards?
Yes, gaining over 20 yards.
Gaining over 20 yards. I definitely thought Tua would have that one. That is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
That is why you love Ben Johnson. And I hope you guys like AG too. Because since 1942, the Detroit Lions haven't let up this many rushing yards. And that's 342 yards through the first 5 games. Bro, that's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 teams, you would think you'd hit like at least 400 or something like that. Or on pace, 342 yards spinning.
Yeah, they're stifling, man. They're playing well. And it's not just the defensive line. Obviously, it starts there with getting that push and making sure those holes are clogged so the running backs can't squeak through. But it's the entire defense tackling. It is the linebackers filling gaps. It is the secondary stepping up into the run. I saw, again, Will Harris. I saw him do it a couple times yesterday. He was impressive in the run game, stopping the run and shutting that down. So it is a team effort to stop the run at this type of clip. The way they are holding teams to not even 100 yards rushing a game. They're, I don't even know. Do quick maths. What was it, 350?
What?
You said 346?
342 yards.
342 divided by 4.
Weeks.
Or divided by 5.
I don't know. I can't.
You got a calculator in your hand. But I expect them to go out there and to make things happen. And it is the entire defense doing this. Like I said, it's not just
68
one
yards.
68 yards per game they're giving up. You don't do that without your entire defense being bought in on stopping the run. Without your corners, your safeties coming up and taking people down in the run game. Your linebackers filling the gaps, knowing their assignment, and the defensive line playing very well. So it's just impressive as the entire unit is doing this, and I hope they can continue it and keep it up at this point.
Hit the like button again if you guys haven't already. The defense for me, Jerry Jacobs. Actually, can you put up the apology form, Chris? I didn't expect to be doing this, by the way. I'm not going to shove it in anybody's face like that. I did think Jerry Jacobs was a lot better than people gave him credit for. I don't know if you guys remember the Madden rankings had him ranked 67 overall. I thought that was absolutely ludicrous, but here you go. Because Jerry Jacobs did have a bad game against the Seattle Seahawks. There's no questions about it. And people wanted him off the team. People called him all kinds of names. But here you are, a Jerry Jacobs apology for him. Because the last 2 games, Benny, this man has been balling. And the Detroit Lions and the NFL leads the league with 3 interceptions.
Yep.
2 last week, 1 this week. Leads the Detroit Lions in pass deflections.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Leads the Detroit Lions in pass deflections. I know you guys like Cam Sutton, but Cam Sutton's locking it down so nice they ain't throwing his way.
They're not even throwing the ball.
But leads the Detroit Lions in pass deflections and the secondary in tackles. 27 of them things. Jerry Jacobs been balling. They put on a clinic the past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We saw something on our social media page. Shout out to Lucas Klotz or Kool-Aid, whoever put it up. But the Deion Sanders highlights, you know what I'm saying? Like Jerry Jacobs the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And he has been playing lockdown. It's awesome. He responded extremely well. Obviously had a poor game against Seattle, but since then has gone out there and absolutely balled. So I'm happy for him. You know, Jerry's a great guy. And it's awesome to see him playing at this level. He continues to perform. And his interception in this game was so impressive, man. They're playing zone. He broke off of the route, read the quarterback's eyes, jumped up, intercepted the ball. It was a beautiful thing. It was a beautiful situation. And like I said, it couldn't happen to a better guy. So I'm happy he's out there. I'm happy he's balling. And I want to see him keep it up for the rest of the year.
100%. And a couple comments over sports about golf. We'll get to those in the next segment because clearly right now we're talking about the defense. But I guess the question is now, and Kool-Aid and Chris, you guys jump on this one too. Do you think this is sustainable at the level it is right now? Because right now we're talking elite.
Yeah.
Right now we're talking about top 5.
I think it is.
top 5 defense Detroit Lions. You think they can continue that on?
I think they can continue that. I think this is sustainable because of the talent you have getting healthier. Like I said, obviously Emmanuel Mosley, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson going down. Those are tough pills to swallow. But you have Jack Campbell getting better with every game. You have Brian Branch, who's hopefully going to be back next week. Josh Pascal is getting healthier. He'll be back with the team pretty soon. So I'm excited for that. And on top of that, there aren't a lot of offensive juggernauts they're going to play the rest of the year. Like, you look at the best offenses they're going to play for the rest of the year is probably Baltimore and the Chargers. Other than that, there aren't a lot of teams that inspire fear in the face of the Detroit Lions defense. And I think they can continue this. Obviously, whatever it was, 68 yards per game allowed rushing is insane. And I don't know if it'll be that low every game, but I don't see them falling off too far.
That's what I have faith in, is the run defense. Because, again, when I initially brought this out during the conversation about the Falcons, is like, this stems back with some context. It's like last year, week 9, Detroit Lions run defense, and they played good running backs. Not just been playing freaking Chuba Hubbard and Miles Sanders both seasons every single week. No. They played the Bijan Robinsons. They played the Saquon Barkleys. You think about what you want of Travis Etienne, but him too. Like, they've been shutting down running backs consistently. That is clearly a characteristic that this defense is going to maintain. I think the only thing maybe get a little bit nervous about, that I ever get nervous about, is the secondary. And that's only because we've seen them getting broken. And the reason why I think there will be a top 10 to top 15 defense for sure. I'm looking at the rest of the schedule. You got the Buccaneers coming up, which, yeah, you can say people aren't nervous about that one, but I think Mike Evans, it can be lethal, quite obviously. Chris Godwin, too. They're also coming off a bye week as well. After that, you have the Baltimore Ravens, which they did look kind of scary at one point due to off-season hype, but now they actually hit the season. They just lost the game yesterday to the lowly Steelers. And maybe I shouldn't call them the lowly Steelers because they got that dub, and another one over the Cleveland Browns, but they also lost to, wasn't the Colts?
Yep.
Like, the Ravens aren't looking like what they're supposed to be. The Raiders aren't looking like, I don't know what anybody thought they were going to be. Shout out to my guy Broder. Make sure you guys check him out from 8 to 10. The Chargers are obviously going to be a big challenge for you. Then the Bears and the Packers. Like, I really do think they can maintain a top 10 to 15 defense. I guess I do. The only thing that makes me a little bit nervous, though, and I'm going to be real with you guys, is like, yes, they did what they've done and what they should do and what you're supposed to do when you play that level of team. But they also were playing that level of team. The Carolina Panthers aren't really good. The Atlanta Falcons aren't really good. They've only played 2 quarterbacks that have been in the playoffs, and they lost to one, that being Geno Smith.
Yep.
And Patrick Mahomes didn't have his favorite weapon and favorite target, Travis Kelce. But when you play those teams, you do want to dominate them. So I think that's correlates to at least having a respectable defense. And if that offense is performing to where it can perform, respectable defense gets you there. Because look at the freaking KC Chiefs. Outside of Chris Jones actually is a freaking dog, so was Nick Bolton. So maybe that wasn't a good example.
Yeah.
But I think it's respectable enough to at least get you playoffs and make you in the conversation, Chris.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at. Is like, I'm looking past the schedule. Like, that's how much confidence I have in this team. I'm looking at the teams around the league, the Niners, the Eagles, the teams that are going to be potential playoff competition for the Lions. That's where I'm at with it. So, do I think they can be an elite defense through the regular season? Yeah, maybe slightly. I look at elite as top 5, so maybe they'll finish, in the bottom half of the top 10 or maybe 12 at worst. But I think they will be a very, very good defense throughout the regular season. But I'm looking at, can this defense do it against the cream of the crop? Because that's what matters. And that's what I think this team, when you are 4-1 and you have a favorable schedule like this and you are looking like you have a clear chokehold on your division, you are, by all definitions, a contender. And that means you have to reevaluate your field of competition. It's good that, like you said, they're dominating the teams they're supposed to, and that gives me a sign that this is a quality defense. I have no doubt in that. But is this defense good enough to get the job done? That's my question. That's where I'm at with this team.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I want to flirt with a Chase Young.
Exactly.
Kool-Aid, do you think they'll finish the year as a top 10, top 5 defense?
I actually do. I do. They're waiting on the return of Brian Branch. And, they just announced that Jack Campbell's about to get turned up. I think that he's going to be huge, man. I know that they're rookies, but they're 2 guys that have come in and proven to be kind of some of our better defensive players on this squad. And that's crazy to say because we got defensive players and really stars kind of spotted all over this. And when you see schematically, man, we've seen players kind of go through what Jerry Jacobs did after that Seattle game and just absolutely lose their confidence and lose the whole rest of the year. He's come back after that and just looked like an absolute stud. That to me encourages me all the way across the board, especially when you think about in that Seattle game, who was Dan Campbell actually annoyed with? He would not let anybody blame the defense. He continued to say the pick six and the fumble. He said the offense is 2 turnovers, almost as if they had the game plan mastered, but they have to make sure that they go out on both sides of the ball and execute. Because if you put stress on that defense, if they're missing a few players, even though that their depth has been next man up and has helped, then it's just going to put their backs up against the wall in short fields. So I think that as long as the offense continues to do what they do, if they can protect the ball, keep the defense out of too many short fields, I think that this defense is going to be formidable. They've already proven it. And we kept hearing week after week that we were thin in the, with these injuries to the DBs. We kept hearing week after week that this running back and then that running back was about to run all over us, right? Mm-hmm. We heard that Bijan Robinson was about to tear us a new one. And all we got out of that game was Brian Branch, like literally sunning him. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I believe this defense is primed for it. They continue to stop the run. They're gonna make quarterbacks have to beat them. And I just think that when you get to the playoffs, all of our defensive backs, safeties, our linebackers, they're gonna grow up. They're being coached up on the fly, but they're gonna grow up, and I think that they're gonna be ready. And having a Cam Sutton over there, man, tone setter.
Definitely helps. He is the tone setter. And if you want to set the tone, all you got to do is go to Planet Fitness. Because Planet Fitness is the home of the judgment-free zone where anyone, and we mean anyone, can feel comfortable working on their fitness goals. At Planet Fitness, you will experience a squeaky clean gym that has tons of equipment, a full body workout in just 30 minutes, and all memberships include fitness training. You get all of this for just $1 down and $10 a month, no commitment. Now through October 13th, $1 down and $10 a month, no commitment at Planet Fitness.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney,
Hey,
Chief
it's Mr.
Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Burgers and chicken sandwiches are taking over at Big Boy. Try our new pretzel bacon cheeseburger. Turn up the heat with Bob's Hot Chicken Sandwich. Upgrade those regular fries with our chili cheese fries or loaded baked potato fries. Hit your sweet tooth with funnel cake fries or Reese's chocolate peanut butter thunder cake. Load up on all your favorites today at Big Boy.
When it comes to your pets, don't settle. Give your pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best at www.premierpetsupply.com.
Welcome back to the Road Heavyweights live on WordSports.com. I'm Easy, Spin More Rax, Yo Chris, Detroit Kool-Aid. Hit the like button again. Once we hit 600 likes, we are giving away a Detroit Lions jersey. Somehow, for the jersey, we have 280 votes, but only 169 likes, if I'm reading that correctly. Ha ha ha, 69. Nice. Ha ha ha. We're talking about the defense. I just smile. Because I know I was defending Glenn. I didn't know that he was going to produce this.
Yeah, nobody expected this.
I did not. I mean, maybe it's him.
We were thinking
to himself.
We were saying what, top 15?
Yeah,
possibly?
I said 17. Yeah, 17 was my number.
Top 15 possibly.
Now 15 for damn sure.
They're a top 5 defense in the NFL right now.
It is. It's beyond my it's quite literally beyond my imagination.
Yeah, and they're forcing turnovers now. Past couple games.
Yeah,
and we know. That's what helped them win all those games down the stretch last year, was forcing a turnover in every single one of those games. We saw them turn over Bryce Young 3 times, I believe. Yeah. It was impressive, man. And they're playing with the tenacity. They're playing with the grit that you expect out of this coaching staff. And those players back there, they believe in it. They believe in each other. They believe in their success, and they're going out there and they're putting people's dicks in the dirt. Like they're putting people on the ground, and I love to see it. And like you said, man, even when you lose guys, obviously nobody wanted to lose Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't want to lose Emmanuel Mosley. Obviously you didn't want to lose Brian Branch for a game. But these guys are stepping in, are filling in, and they're playing well. Whether it be a Tracy Walker, we knew what he was going to bring. There was no doubt in my mind Tracy Walker would be great if he gets on the field. Ifeatu Melifonwu comes in playing great. Will Harris came in this week, had a great game. This team is deep. They have a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things, and if somebody does stumble, if somebody falls down, they got guys that'll pick them up. So I'm excited for that, and the depth has been one thing that has stood out to me.
Yeah, and the way depth works is a little bit, hats off to Brad Holmes, obviously, but also coaching those guys up to step into the shoes of the guy that was perceived better than them at one point. And this team's performing, again, just as well, if honestly, if not better. I know CJ was part of that Seattle game, and they got their asses kicked. Again, probably obviously the second best quarterback we played yet this season, but and the turnover stat, Detroit Lions win in every single game they've caused a turnover, or at least have had a turnover in every single game they've won, starting since Week 9 last year. This year, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the pick six against Patrick Mahomes. I don't think they caused a single turnover against Geno and the boys. You had the fumble lost by Desmond Ridder. And you can say, okay, that was towards the end of the game. That was still, 6 to 14 or 17 at that point?
Yep.
It's still kind of like in grips, I should say. And then, obviously, they took Jordan Love, they made him his baby. They became his daddy, just as they were Aaron Rodgers. And then this past weekend, too, with Bryce Young. And one of the key attributes or contributors to those turnovers, who had quite literally got one himself and caused a fumble against Desmond Ridder, has been Aiden Hutchinson. Dude has been
everywhere.
He should have been the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, thanks, Jacksonville, again.
Shout out Jacksonville.
Thank you, Jacksonville.
And shout out to our guy Booner, again, live from 8 to 10 on Woodward Nights. Make sure you check him out. Yesterday he told me Aiden Hutchinson, this is before the Carolina game, was 3rd odds favorite to win the NFL Defensive Player of the Year. And then he goes and adds an interception as a defensive lineman and another sack to that on the resume for that one, Spinny.
Mm-hmm.
Is Aiden Hutchinson a Defensive Player of the Year candidate? Is he going to... I mean, this is crazy.
He's going to push for the award for sure. He's playing like one of the best defensive players in football. I mean, if he continues at this pace, if he continues doing what he's doing, then yeah, he's on pace for 17 sacks. He's got the interception. He's making plays on a consistent basis. He has the most pressures in the NFL. The guy is every week after week, going out there and proving that he is a top flight player, that he is a blue chip stock, that the Jacksonville Jaguars are the dumbest franchise for passing on him. So if he continues to play how he's playing, then yes, you have to say he is in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. Do I think he'll win it? Probably not. I think T.J. Watt's looking like he might win it again. That dude is an animal. And obviously you got guys like Myles Garrett, Micah Parsons, different players all around the league. Aaron Donald looks like he's back, so we'll see what's going on there. But he's the top 5 contention for a reason. The guy's going out there. He is making NFL tackles his son on a weekly basis. And if he continues to play like that, you can't say he's out of the race.
I'm trying to find the live numbers right now, too, because when we were saying it was 3rd yesterday, I'm curious if it's gone up since they destroyed the Carolina Panthers. It's not like the Panthers are like anything to sniff at, but you mentioned T.J. Watt, and Hutch doing the same things.
Yep.
T.J. Watt, he's blessed. Again, well, I'm campaigning for Chase Young, and the only argument you can make to me, in my opinion, is that of injury concerns, because that is fair. But to the production point, Chase Young is cold. But you look at T.J. Watt, who's he have on the other side of the line for him? That's Alex Highsmith.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
he had 13 sacks last year, I think.
Yeah. I think it was 15.
Yeah.
And they just read up. They got T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and then Joey Porter Jr. looked cold yesterday.
He did. He was the highest rated defensive back this year, or this week.
This week?
Yeah.
He locked Odell up.
Yeah.
He made Odell look like a child. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's just a bad throw by Lamar, or Lamar thought Odell was going to get the release off at some point. Joey Porter said, nah. But nonetheless, 2 elite edge rushers. I'm just saying. I'm just trying to sell you guys an idea. But I think Aiden's doing what TJ's doing. TJ has the Alex Highsmith to help him. He didn't get that sack. I think he has one yesterday, but the forced fumble came from Highsmith, and then he picked it up. Aiden's forcing these fumbles and picking them up his damn self.
Yeah,
and grabbing one-handed interceptions.
That interception was with no gloves
with
on.
the lefty, right? If I'm not mistaken, no gloves too.
Yeah,
one-handed.
I love seeing that shit. And Carolina was trying to guard him with tight ends the whole game. I was like, what the fuck are you guys doing? Like, that shit is not going to work. You can't guard this guy with a tight end. You can't guard him with a single tackle. Like, what do you think you're doing? But for more information about the Detroit Lions, breaking down every week what's going on, make sure you tune in to Woodward and Maine, the Detroit Lions beat writer show, hosted by Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster. Tuesdays from 7 to 8 a.m. and Sundays from 8 to 9 a.m. Make sure you guys check it out every week. It's Woodward and Maine, the Detroit Lions insider show.
What were you saying beforehand, though?
But yeah, Hutchinson, man, everybody needs some help. You look around the league, everybody's got help. Nick Bosa isn't just by himself out there in San Francisco. Myles Garrett's got Zadarius Smith. We know the Eagles' defensive line is freakish. Like you said, Highsmith with Watt. I don't want to say it's a necessity, but it definitely helps the case when you have another pure edge rusher on the other side. You have another elite edge rusher on the other side, because that makes everything easier for Hutchinson. He's not going to be getting double-teamed and chipped and crackback blocked every week. Like, he'll be able to go out there and do what he wants because he knows somebody on the other side, whether it be Chase Young, whether it be whoever the Lions do end up bringing in, if they bring in somebody, takes precedence for the defense or for the offensive line. Is they can't just focus entirely on Aiden Hutchinson because they have other guys there that can do something.
I'm looking at the live lines right now, and this is at least on FanDuel.
Brian Burns would be dirty.
I'd say I was thinking about Derek Brown and Brian Burns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth best odds. I don't know why, but Nick Bosa's ahead of him. I saw a stat line the other day. I think again, this is why when people hop in the chat and tell me Chase Young isn't good because he doesn't have a 20 million sacks. Nick Bosa, right now, 4th best odds. Oh, him and Aiden are tied.
Yeah,
they're tied for 4th right now. But Nick Bosa only has 1.5 sack on the year. Aiden's got 4 and 4 interceptions.
Yeah, 4.5, I think, right?
Yeah, 4.5 sacks and 4 interceptions. Miles Garrett.
He's only got 1 interception.
It goes Micah Parsons 1, Miles Garrett 2, T.J. Watt 3.
Yeah,
and then plus 1,400 for Aiden Hutchinson. But again, man, if they grab another piece, though,
his numbers are going to jump up.
I just put $1 on it right now, by the way. Plus
back to the dollar bets.
Hey, why not?
What's up, Chris?
My first thought when Aiden Hutchinson got that interception was just like, are we just able to suspect that he is capable of making these plays? Because like last year, the 3 interceptions were all cool things, but I kind of went into this season being like, okay, I don't quite accept him to get multiple interceptions. I expect him to be more of a presence, like a typical edge rusher, get your sacks and force a lot of pressure, everything like that. But at this point, 4 interceptions in less than 20 games or about 20 games?
About 20 games.
Like, that is crazy. That is a whole other dynamic that I didn't think we were getting with Aiden Hutchinson, but now I kind of have to believe that this is possible, right, too? Because these are also degree of difficulty interceptions. Like, this one is not an easy one to get. It's not one of those ones that was just cherry picked and hand given to you. So is this like a part of his defensive resume now? Like that something that we can kind of expect going forward is for him to have an interception 2, 3, 4 a year?
Yeah, this is the guy knows ball. Like his IQ, his football IQ is off the charts. He reads those situations. He read that tight end screen and jumped in front of it and made it happen. He swats down balls. I think it's safe to expect that out of him. I don't know about 2, 3, 4 every year, but expect him to get his hand on balls. Expect him to be in the right place at the right time, making the right decision, because that's the type of player he is. He knows what's going on. He is never away from what's happening on the field. He knows what's happening. He knows the scheme, knows what the offense is trying to do, and he breaks it up. So I love seeing it happen. Like that, his interception in this game, he read that perfectly. He felt the tight end just give him a little chip, and he's like, oh, okay, something's going on. Stuck his hand out, made the interception. The guy's there, and he reads the field so well. I could definitely see him getting his hand on a couple balls a year.
Kool-Aid, why do you think that is, that he's doing all these things? Maybe it's because he's a second-year player, but why? I don't know. I feel he's not looked at in light as like a Nick Bosa or any of those people.
I think it's just the Detroit of it all, man. He's going to have to continue to go out there and prove himself some more. And he's already shown, whether he's getting an interception or not, he can blow up those checkdowns and those passes like in his vicinity. If people want to continue to just disrespect him and act like he's not that guy, by all means, go ahead and do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because he's going to continue to blow up everything that you throw his way. Man, they've been double and triple teaming him, and he's getting one-handed sacks. I don't know why people test him. I don't. And I do. It's like Chris is right. Last year I was like, oh, that's cool. He got 3 interceptions. When I saw this one, I instantly, like Chris said, was like, wait, is this just what he is?
Freaking nature. Seems like that.
A monster. I mean, again, talking about the odds, he's tied with Nick Bosa right now, and I know who Nick Bosa is, and everyone does, and he's elite. But Aiden Hutchinson, 27 tackles, 4.5 sacks, and a pick. Nick Bosa, 12 tackles, 1.5 sacks, no picks. I feel like Aiden should be, I guess, respected more in that category.
He's getting it done. He's proving that he is one of the elite edge rushers in the NFL, and the Lions made the right decision by taking him. Which, again, every single mock we did that year, I didn't even have Aiden Hutchinson as a thought because I was convinced he was going number 1.
Bro,
convinced he was the best player in the draft. I was convinced he was going number 1.
Jeez.
Nobody could tell me otherwise, and the Jaguars did Jaguars things. But now let me tell you guys about Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm offers you customized solutions from real experts. Their professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. They also have 24/7 professional monitoring. You can call them anytime, day or night, and no Guardian Alarm team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. And of course, they have technology backed by real people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people who have been proven to help. So make sure you call them at 1-800-STAY-OUT. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. And let them know Woodward Sports sent you.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Spooner and Broder. How would you like to win not 1, but 2 vehicles of your choice? One for you and one for your wife, your girlfriend, or your best bud. Get to Lady Jane's today for an award-winning haircut and automatically enter for your chance to win. Courtesy of Les Stanford Buick GMC of Ferndale. Lady Jane's, open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome. Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Experience Dispo Romeo, a team that curates an exclusive atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory from Michigan's largest variety of products. The first ever Cannabis Mall of its kind is conveniently located off Van Dyke and 32 Mile Road in Romeo. Dispo Romeo is also open at midnight every day except for Sunday. Can it get any better than that? The answer is nah. Is Dispo the best? The answer is yes. And they can deliver to you too. Make sure you hit up Dispo at DISPO shops.com. Dispo Dispensary, your local cannabis plug.
Yeah, so Aiden Hutchinson has 35 total pressures, which is first in the NFL. He's got 26 quarterback hurries, which is first in the NFL, 4.5 sacks, and 1 of 3 defensive linemen with an interception.
Like, that's why I just put the money down, because like these odds are going to change. There's no way. Because you just said during the break, like Chris said, it's like how much is an interception worth versus a sack? And the answer is a lot more.
Yes.
A sack, you're pinning them back a couple more yards that they can make up. An interception is you quite literally taking the possession away from the team completely. He should be up there.
Especially when compared to positional value, right? Of like he's not a cornerback getting an interception or a safety. Like he's a lineman. Like these are things that aren't supposed to happen. Like you imagine that most of his peers that are in the Defensive Player of the Year race will not have 1 or more than 1. So it's like again, it's something that's that's just an anomaly almost when it comes to that position. So it makes it even more valuable in my opinion.
Yeah,
I think.
When are we going to see Hutch in some red zone packages like they did with JJ Watt? I mean, he's got the hands. We know he's got hands. Throw him out at tight end. Line him and Laporta up on the side.
I'm good on that. I'd rather have a tight end there. I will say, by the way, too, like I wonder. I mean, this stuff does work all the time. I guess it weirds me out though, because like knowing it just typically works all the time. When you see a weird package like that, I would automatically assume the ball's going to that person.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And real quick, to the Ben Johnson standpoint, this dude makes it actually. We'll segue into this, Jameson Williams, and your grade for him yesterday, because I know a lot of people kind of hating. I saw my guy Flannel Sam was hating this morning too, but it's like Ben Johnson's so nice. He makes Penei Sewell a fucking weapon.
Yeah.
He made Penei Sewell a weapon on this team.
Sam Flannel was hating on J-Mo?
Yeah, I feel like he didn't. I know so, actually. I know he didn't intend it that way, because I know exactly where he's coming from. It's the same way I get with the golf fans. Like, I don't hate golf.
Yeah.
I hate his fans that want to tell me he's MVP and shit like that. I think that's where Flannel Sam was coming from. I can't speak for sure. But yeah, he was kind of just talking his shit because J-Mo played the same amount of snaps as Josh Reynolds. And he had the 2 receptions for 2 yards.
Yeah.
And the 1 drop ball, but he dropped it because he heard footsteps coming.
Drop ball, yeah, you'd like to see him catch that for sure. That was a drop, plain and simple. And yeah, he would have gotten absolutely obliterated if he caught that ball. But that's the NFL. You got to hang on to those. But I didn't expect a lot out of him in this game. It is his first game back. We'll see if this continues to happen. Then it will get a little upsetting. But they won the game. He had a seal block, springing Montgomery's touchdown. He made a couple nice blocks out there. Obviously, you want to see him do more than blocking. I'd like to see him get involved, a couple deep shots down the field maybe. But, they're easing him into it. We'll see what happens. It wasn't a great game by any means by J-Mo. He had a drop, and he only had 2 catches. So hopefully he improves. I don't have much to say about it because he didn't do much. He made some great blocks for sure, but you'd like to see him get involved in the offense more, get open, make some plays down the field.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that'll come with time.
Yeah, I'm not. It's obviously too early to speak. I believe on him as any type of like miss or bust, and I feel the same about Jahmyr Gibbs. It's too early for those conversations. But what I do know, regardless of no matter what, is maybe they don't become the 12th overall player in the NFL draft. But I do know that Ben Johnson will use them effectively, and they will contribute to this offense, not just as playmakers, but as you seen yesterday too, J-Mo as a blocker.
Yeah.
And who would have thought that? I mean, you look at J-Mo, you look at his frame. He's kind of scrawny in a respectful way. I don't mean in a disrespectful way, but I don't look at him and think, yeah, that guy's going to be an elite blocker. No, he is. He was crucial on that Dave Montgomery touchdown, the 45-yard touchdown, a 42-yard touchdown, however long it was. But again, I guess it comes down to like coaching. It's like, reality is, Jahmyr Gibbs hasn't performed to the par of a 12th overall pick. The reality is, Jameson Williams hasn't performed to the par of a 12th overall pick. But the reality is, the Detroit Lions team is still winning games.
Yeah.
So it don't matter.
It does not matter.
It doesn't matter. And again, with the offensive coordinator who's able to utilize an offensive lineman and Penei Sewell as a receiving weapon, I guarantee you that both Jahmyr Gibbs and Jameson Williams are going to have their shine at some point.
Yes. They are too good. They're too talented, too explosive to not be utilized by Ben Johnson in the correct way. I expect him to go out there and do that. I expect him to make some things happen. So we'll see going forward. But like I said, it was his first game back. You shouldn't have expected a whole lot from him. Obviously, you wanted to see a little bit more, but still, he went out there and he had a couple nice blocks. I'd like to see him get involved down the field more, but it'll all come in due time. Now let me tell you guys about the Lions post-game show directly after every single Lions game, only here on the Woodward Sports Network. Hey, it's Miz and Stick. They are hanging out directly after all Lions games all year, so make sure you guys check it out. It's the Lions post-game show on the Woodward Sports Network.
Hit the like button if you guys haven't already. Yeah. I mean, and anybody too, like, Kool-Aid, do you know how to work the phones? No, we do, if not. But I was going to say, like, I kind of want to hear, like, where people are at with Jameson Williams. Like, I understand if people are freaking out a little bit, because if I didn't have so much faith in Ben Johnson, I would too, but I just know that they're going to be utilized in a piece of this offense regardless, no matter what. There's just no reason to trip. I mean, it's just like last year on the fringe of making the playoffs. And J-Mo did contribute to 1 touchdown. He was open during the Jets game. He had the 1 called back against the Packers. Like, there's also been those moments where he has contributed. So he's going to. Give it time. And this is his first game back. His first game back.
Yeah.
Relax. Kool-Aid, do you want to speak of the J-Mo or Jahmyr stuff at all?
Hey, listen, man. When you got the type of guys we have, these coaches have already been shown that they can coach up these players on this team. And I think they believe in the guys that they have here, man. With the J-Mo stuff, people just got to chill out. I believe that he's a luxury of a player right now. And he's a player that I do believe, no matter what the fans think, other teams have to game plan for him when he's there. He's going to take a safety with him. Sheesh, I can't believe I forget which play it was. It might have been Montgomery's touchdown. Who had a key block on that, man?
Yeah, it was J-Mo.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like, you know what? Let this guy actually get his football legs underneath him, man. Let him just kind of get used to this because he's been injured coming out of college. It's just like, just let him cook. Let Brad Holmes, let Ben Johnson, those guys, do whatever they have to do. And let's trust them. You know what I mean? If they're not saying we got to shut him down, if they're not saying, hey, he's trash, I'm not going to do that. You got people say, oh, Brad Holmes is the GOAT. Yo, Ben Johnson is awesome. And then they look at all of the decisions that they make, and it's just like, come on, you can't keep that from J-Mo. Just let this thing play itself out, and we'll see. I mean, look what people were at with Jerry Jacobs after one game, so I'm not surprised. You know, I'm not surprised. But just let him get comfortable on the field, man.
Yeah, I feel that.
I feel that too, especially more like for J-Mo's comfortability on the field. Like that's there. I think the comfortability they're looking to build is like his rapport with Jared Goff. And Jared Goff said after the game is like, yeah, I had him for a shot open, but I had somebody in my face. He needs to get to the point where he's more comfortable. Like the same way with Amon-Ra St. Brown is like, you saw in the offseason, Jared Goff would throw a completion to Amon-Ra St. Brown with his eyes closed, being blinded. You need to get that comfortable enough that J-Mo's going to come down with the ball where even if you have pressure in your face, you're just going to throw that ball where he's supposed to be. And you know, God bless it, he makes the play on it.
Yeah.
But that has to build. We've seen J-Mo be special. We've seen J-Mo be electric. I think the guy I'm looking more towards, and I know there's specific, this topic was supposed to be about J-Mo, but for me, it's Jameer. I think that's the guy who needs to find a little bit more of his comfortability, and he will.
Yeah,
I think you saw it. I saw a little bit towards the end of that Green Bay game, but I also didn't know if it was them kind of throwing the towel.
Like you said, man, Ben Johnson is too talented to have these kind of guys and not put them in situations where they're going to get the most usage out of. And no disrespect to, Cleve Raymond and Josh Reynolds, but these guys are uber talented. They're first-round draft picks for a reason. They're explosive. When you get them in the hands of Ben Johnson, he's going to cook up something for these guys. So I'm not worried about it.
Brandon Bowlesby in the Woodward Sports Chat says, Detroit Lions are only winning because of Jared Goff. How do you feel about that comment?
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do you not watch the defense? Do you not see those defensive stats they're putting up? Like, I understand you love Jared Goff, but, like, relax, man.
I don't want to turn this into that.
He's playing well. There's nothing wrong with he
Yeah.
is playing well. They are winning because of Jared Goff for sure, but he's not the only reason they're winning games. That's just blasphemous.
I think people of that elk just can't be saved. They made a commitment to
I don't even
their Lord and
understand
Savior
it.
Jared Goff.
I don't understand it.
It is what it is.
Like I said, he's playing well. Shout out to Goff. He's commanding the offense. He's doing a lot of things very well, but that defense is probably the main reason they've been winning games.
Goff has won 10 of his last 13, but not quite to easy standards. Brandon Bowlesby. It's a team game, guys.
You don't win games because of one person. Football is the ultimate team sport for a reason.
It's again, these offensive geniuses, like they're able to make things work. Sean McVay, although the Rams are kind of falling off it now, were able to be, and they're still competitive against a team like the Eagles.
Silence says take Goff off the team. The Lions aren't relevant. That's just not true. It's just not true.
Absolutely not true.
Did you guys have the same kind of thought process about Goff right when he was traded? That he is the reason they're going to be winning, that they're going to be doing all this? No, this is a team built by Brad Holmes and coached up by Dan Campbell. It's not one guy.
He was replaced on another team that literally won the Super Bowl. It's wild to say these things. On top of the fact, time and time over and over again, you look at the San Francisco 49ers, they went to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. Offensive genius, offensive guru, Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
Insert Brock Purdy. Looked pretty fucking good.
Looks pretty good.
It's not that hard, guys. It's team, especially these offensive-minded guys. If you have somebody capable, I don't even want to do it like that, but look at the numbers. You want to cuckold them how you want, but look at the numbers in the games they have. They're like one touchdown, one interception.
Steve Wiles says QBs are the most important position, and it's not even close.
That's facts.
For sure.
That's facts.
For sure. You know what else is important? Tackle, defensive end, wide receiver. Doesn't matter how good your quarterback is. If there's nobody protecting him, he won't do anything. It doesn't matter how accurate your quarterback throws. If they're dropping balls and not catching anything, it doesn't matter how good he is. It doesn't matter how good your quarterback is if your defense is letting up 40 points a game. Come on, guys. Yeah, it's an important position, and yeah, he's playing well. But this is the ultimate team sport, and it is that for a reason. You need everybody around you to have success.
The other point I was going to make, too, is you get a touchdown to Sam Laporta yesterday. The flea flicker one. Was that tight coverage? Was that like there had to be like an immaculate throw made there, or was Sam Laporta wide the fuck open because of the play call?
Mm-hmm. Tell us about Mark White.
I'll tell you about Mark White. It's the best place to go whether you're buying or selling real estate. Flexibility is key. Call my guy Mark White at 248-290-8242 or visit markwhitesells.com. He's a Jared Goff fan or not, whatever floats your boat. Where flexibility meets success. Again, that's Mark White Associates, 248-290-8242 or markwhitesells.com. Whether you're buying or selling real estate, flexibility is important.
Stanford, what happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand and offer more products to more people. They offered me my Blazer, and I love it. You see Spenny cruising around, just know it's because of Les Stanford. This is exactly what Les Stanford did by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC. They have the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. Les Stanford, find new roads.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Academy of Warren has a brand new state-of-the-art sports dome field house that has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, and soccer field. It also can be used for 7-on-7 football. K-8 that features AM and PM latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics. Man, listen, the Academy of Warren is now accepting new enrollment, so go to academyofwarren.net.
Check it out. Whatever, welcome back to Whatever It's Live on WoodwardSports.com. Me, Boy Easy, join my guy, Spin More Rax.
What up, dog?
Chris. JB Swoop's gone. We got Detroit Kool-Aid. I was doing good all show. I almost did just then. I could continue the golf bashing.
There's no need to golf bash.
Okay. Yeah, it's not golf. I'm sorry. That came out the wrong way.
He's played very well.
He's played, yesterday, ball.
Yeah, he had a great game yesterday.
Four of them things.
Yeah.
He is the starting quarterback of the third-ranked team in the NFL, and he's just outside the top 10 for MVP odds. It's weird. You figure you're so important. Anyway, Kool-Aid, were you with Isaiah Thomas yesterday? Like chilling with Isaiah Thomas? He quotes with your tweet. You like kicking it with him?
I was, man. Listen, shout out to Vinny Goodwill and Detroit News Rod Beard, man. They introduced me to the GOAT of GOATs, man, here in Detroit. And you know what? Everything that you see him like kind of portray, like in media and all that type of stuff, man, he is that guy. His spirit is like genuine, is pure. I'm sitting here trying to tell him like, hey man, it's so nice meeting you. He's like, no, it's nice meeting you. Yeah. I'm like, stop, Zeke, stop, man.
Zeke's
like,
the man, dude.
Yeah, it was an awesome experience, man. Really,
that's so incredible.
So like I guess, did you get to speak on the current state of the Detroit Pistons with Zeke? Like, did you guys speak about Cade or Jaden?
No, not in this one, man. Not in this one. You know, this one was about just kind of making a connection because we'll have some more time to talk soon.
Okay.
Definitely know that much.
Hey, you have to get him on the Woodward Pistons show.
Man, we're working on getting him here in Woodward Sports, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
Let's rock.
Hey, he does follow. Chris, I'm letting you introduce this one because if I do it, I'm gonna sound like a hater.
Okay.
Because you're the one that put it in the chat and the one in the prep.
Yeah, I put it in the chat because Easy was understandably so, having a great day with the Lions victory. We all were. The city of Detroit was. But there's one thing I didn't want Easy to be too happy yesterday. So I took it upon myself to initiate this topic, and I thought one that was interesting. Jaden Ivey came off the bench in the Pistons' first preseason game yesterday against the Phoenix Suns. Now, it could mean nothing. It could mean something, because as of all season long, all off season, everybody in the Pistons fandom thought, okay, Cade Ivey, those are your cornerstones. Those are probably your two best players, your two most important players going forward. And now all of a sudden Jaden Ivey is somebody that's coming off the bench, and Monty said, yeah, that's a possibility. And Jaden Ivey gave great answers at the media day, saying, I'll do whatever it takes for the team to win. So as of right now, I believe it's something they're experimenting with. But Kool-Aid, where are you at with the Jaden Ivey on the bench? Were you shocked by it? And is it something that you see long term, or is it something that they're just doing to try and see how that fits?
Part of me thinks that they're trying to push Jaden Ivey, see how he does in kind of expanded roles as well. But the other thing was Bojan Bogdanovic being out meant that there was really no three-point shooters, no established three-point shooters in that starting lineup. And Cade Cunningham and the way that those guys play and facilitate, you generally need a shooter in there. So they went with Alec Burks because, Sarr's going to fill in naturally at the three. And they don't know how these guys were going to shoot. Mm-hmm. Then Jaden came in and was shooting off the dribble, shooting threes off motion. I remember one of the threes, he looked like Richard Hamilton, but just out at the three-point line, and it was nothing but net. I think that what they want to see is how well he can play in those types of situations, because then it makes him really a really good fit in the starting lineup, no matter if Bojan starts or Asar.
Yeah, that's the thing is with Jaden Ivey is the shooting. He shot the ball, I think, a lot better than a lot of people expected in his rookie season, and if he can continue to do that, he's definitely going to get a lot of time out there, because the Pistons have great facilitators of the basketball, Jaden Ivey being one of them, but now with Asar Thompson and obviously Cade Cunningham coming back, those are two guys that can get open shots for anybody on the team, so you got to knock them down. And Alec Burks, he's a career 40% three-point shooter. That is a guy who's as solid as it comes. He's a gun for hire, and he's going to knock down shots. So seeing Jaden Ivey do that last night was impressive, man. His stroke looks good, and I'm excited to see what he can do this year, because like you said, he's a dad now. He cut the hair. He's got new powers that people don't know of. Yeah. And I'm excited to see him in year two. That sophomore, jump from freshman year to sophomore year in the NBA is normally where you see a lot of development in players. And I expect Jaden Ivey to go out there, have a good season. I expect him to shoot the ball well like he did his first year. And he's going to be a good player for this team for a long time.
Kool-Aid, what do you expect the night one starting lineup to be?
Well, I'm hoping, and it seems like it's trending this way, that it's going to be Cade, Jaden, Bojan, Stewart, and Duren for night one. I believe, though, that Asar Thompson is making his case to start, and I believe some of it would depend on either how well Ivy is shooting at three or how well Asar is shooting at three, especially if Bojan is still dealing with that calf injury. We know he's older. If they're going to make any noise this year, they're going to need Bojan in that second half of the season and let the young guys just kind of get going. Seriously. So for me personally, what I want to see is Asar starting. I want to see him just go out there and snatch that, because I know defensively we've missed like what Jeremy Grant brought on the defensive end as that kind of versatile defender and versatile offensive player, can just grab the ball and go. So
he looked good yesterday, man. Asar looked really good.
He did double, and he was making a lot of good plays. Like a lot of plays, it's funny, the Monty quote that I really loved is him talking about, throwing a bunch of pressure and a bunch of knowledge and just really putting Asar in the pressure cooker and really seeing how he handles adversity through this offseason. And one of the things he said was that Asar is a guy who right now, because he's so damn athletic, that he can make the mistake and then make up for it, because of his elite athleticism. And you saw that a couple times. You saw that with the block on Devin Booker that he had in the second quarter, which was just he lost position, and then because of his athleticism he was able to recover and block the shot. So that guy, he is going to be special, and I'm excited to see him start. But it never made sense to start the young five as we're calling it. I don't know if we want to come up with a better name, but Cade, Ivy, Asar, Stewart, and Duren. There's just not enough shooting. Obviously, Cade and Ivey thrive with great shooting around them, and you just don't want four of your best shooters off the bench. Joe Harris, Alec Burks, Bojan, like Monte Morris. Like, those are 4 of your 5 best shooters, probably, maybe even your top 4 shooters on the roster. So you want to mix and match. And Ausar, while he brings a lot of energy, defense, he's got great feel for the game. He's a high processor, so I'm confident in this guy going forward. I think he's one of those people that has the supercomputer brain that we talk about with great NBA players. Yeah. And I have faith in him, but you need more shooting in that offensive lineup.
Yep, we'll see how he shoots the ball, because you're right. You can't have your 4 best, and those are your 4 best shooters, and you can't have them all coming off the bench. You need some of those guys in the starting lineup to space the floor. But, dude, I loved what I saw out of Ausar. And I know Cade Cunningham is back now, and he's healthy. But Ausar Thompson might be the best defender on this team already.
Oh, he is.
Like, the guy is so good. He's so long. He's so athletic. He put Booker in clamps yesterday. He's doing a lot of different things. He wants those matchups, too. He wants the Devin Booker matchup. He wants the Kevin Durant matchup. He wants to say, I locked your best player down all night. And I love that out of him. I hope he can continue to do that throughout the entire season, because the ceiling is so high for this kid. If he could shoot mid-30s from three-pointer, he's going to be an all-star. Like, the kid is so good, and his back cuts, his timing, his court awareness is all extremely impressive for a player as young as he is, but it's only going to get better from here. But Chris, tell us about Glorious.
Yeah, glorious. It was glorious that Pistons basketball is back, but also glorious cannabis is back, and they have a new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of Detroit football. If you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, you are missing out. They are so smooth. Find them at Dispo Dispensary for 25% off, or find them online at gloriouscanna.com.
Looking for a convenient place to get that big fitness energy? It's Planet Fitness.
You know it.
Now through October 13th, join for just $1 down, $10 a month. We've got over 2,400 locations, with most open 24 hours. Join now to enjoy free fitness training and equipment for every workout. You belong in the judgment-free zone. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, October 13th.
Over 50 Metro Detroit locations.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests, for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m. Come hang with the Woodward Sports crew all throughout football season on Saturdays and Sundays. Join our college football and Detroit Lions live watch parties.
Inside the 5, caught, end zone, touchdown, Detroit Lions!
With money on the line, featuring different special guests and surprises. Start times will vary depending on the game. Only on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel.
Your childhood may be over, but playtime is not. Outdoor Equipment Company is your source for power outdoor equipment, sales, service, and parts, carrying top brands such as Bad Boy, Ellis Tractor, Steel, and more, servicing the Great Lakes region with locations in Metro Detroit and Greater Lansing. For more information, visit us at OutdoorEquipCo.com. Outdoor Equipment Company, your power equipment playground.
Welcome back. Make sure you guys hit the like button, 5-star review on all podcast platforms. Detroit Kool-Aid filling in for JB Smooth.
Shout out Kool-Aid.
Chris,
You ducked the smoke.
Spinny. What smoke?
You ducked the smoke all segment. It was about Ivy coming off the bench, and you were quiet as a church mouse. What's
It's
up?
preseason. Like even when you guys talking about Ausar, which I'm high on, and I do want him to start. Or I think he will start. Like Book and KD like sat out the whole second half. It's gotta like I don't know. I like all these things with context. Yeah, exactly. So I'm saying I don't give like I don't have anything. Any crucial judgment on it. What I will speak on, Stu. How'd you guys feel about him yesterday?
Stu, I mean,
I know what Isaiah Stewart is, man.
Yeah,
I know
you know what
Stewart
he is. You know what he is, and you're just hoping. You're looking for development with the 3-point shot at the end of the day. That's his biggest key. Right now, you know he's going to bring intensity. Monty and even the previous coaching regime and Dwayne Casey obviously spoke very highly of Isaiah Stewart, what he brings just from a mentality standpoint. So I expect him to be a starter despite him not being the best shooter on this team. I think he just brings what you need every game, and that's very important. So I'm not really tripping about Stu. I want to see him just continue to shoot open looks, and we'll see where his percentage is at in a week. Shooters can have slumps and they can have hot streaks.
I agree. I think, we know what Isaiah Stewart is at this point. We know what he is going to be in this league. He'll be a great rotational piece. That he'll be a great big off the bench. That's what I've said since we got him. Really, is I think he on a championship team, he is your second
Tucker.
big. He is your second big. He comes off the bench. He's a hustle player. He plays good defense. He protects the rim. But on a team if it's the Warriors, then Isaiah Stewart would be a perfect fit to start on the Warriors like a Kevon Looney. Yeah. But this isn't the Warriors, so we'll see what happens here. But
I do got one wrinkle for you on Stewart.
What's that?
Things. Look, I got to sit with the venerable Detroit News Rob Beard. He's now the sports editor-in-chief there.
Shout out
Rob Beard, friend of the show.
Yeah, what we wanted to do was focus on this one fact. The Pistons don't care if Stewart can hit that three or not. They really don't. Who did Stewart start off defending yesterday? Does anybody know?
Durant, I believe.
Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
And did you see what he and Asar Thompson were able to do? They switched every pick and roll. That don't happen with most 4s or 5s in this league.
That's true.
So it's like when you're talking about, you're hearing Monty Williams' comments on if you don't defend, you're not going to play. Stewart was all over the court yesterday, and a lot of his impact does not show up in the stats, man. He's getting passes deflected. He's able to kind of make things a little bit more tough for especially for guys like a Kevin Durant, because if you're talking about this new NBA, Asar Thompson can go out there and guard the best player, but in this new NBA, they got a second and a third player that's going to be just as tough to defend. So it's like, in that regard, if we can get somebody that can kind of match that defensive intensity from all over the court, because Stewart is one of the best at being able to switch on the perimeter for big men. You don't find too many other players, power forwards or centers, that can do that like him. If he continues that trend, I think he finds himself kind of in that. But I'm kind of, bro, I've been kind of like where you've been at, like where I feel like the Pistons on that championship and those playoff runs, he would be the perfect heart and soul guy, kind of off the bench.
For sure.
But I'm not going to limit him.
That's why I like what the Pistons have, obviously, with the big men, is Jalen Duren. He showed me a lot last year guarding people on the perimeter, staying up with guards, being able to stay in front of guards, not getting burnt by. Him and Isaiah Stewart both have great lateral quickness. They're obviously both great size, and the quickness of their feet to stay in front of these guards on the perimeter is extremely impressive. So they're going to switch a lot of pick and rolls, whether it be Jalen Duren, whether it be Isaiah Stewart, and switching with Asar Thompson or Cade Cunningham, because as a team, as a unit, the length and the size of this Pistons defenders give them that ability. You have a Cade Cunningham who can guard 1 through 4. You have Asar Thompson who can guard 1 through 4, and Isaiah Stewart who can guard 2 through 5. So you can do a lot of different things and switch these guys. So it's going to be exciting to watch these guys work on defense.
I agree, man. And that's what it is at the end of the day, is that the bigs have quick feet and the guards have big upper body strength. Like, so that is perfect for switching. Like, Cade is not going to get bullied a lot. Ivy is not going to get bullied a lot. Of course, there's certain matchups. If you get Embiid on you, that's not good. But Cade's going to be able to hold his own against most big men like that get switched on him. Like Indiana, who's going to be a rival of us this year. Tyrese Halliburton runs a pick and roll with Jarris Walker. Jarris Walker's a strong guy, but Cade's not gonna just be bullied over and bulldozed over. Like, this is they have the fundamentals of a very, very good defensive team. Now it's about, can the shooting progress? Can they get the right pieces around that? And how do these players just overall progress offensively?
I'm not gonna lie though. Let Jaden Ivey come off the bench, and I'm gonna be insufferable. He won't though.
Just a hater. But that'll do it for us today. We appreciate you all tapping into the Woodward Heavyweights live on WoodwardSports.com. Make sure you like and share the stream. If you're listening on audio platform, leave a 5-star review for Easy, for Chris, for our guy Kool-Aid filling in. Appreciate you, brother. I am Spencer Raxter. We are the Woodward Heavyweights, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.